Okay, what we've got here is, the military insignia that they have for their various services, at least for officers here. And often, I don't know, people might wonder why. Why do they have gold bars and oak leaves and an eagle? And how did they come up with that? What's the big deal with that? And I looked around on the internet for a chart, and I'm going to have it up here in the corner somewhere on the video here, showing the ranks starting at the bottom with the lowest grade going up to the highest. But couldn't find any. There's a lot that start out with the lowest grade up here coming down. So you'll just have to, bear with me here. But why is it that we have, and I'm going to talk about Air Force because I know that, but it's basically true in the other services too. And that why is it that a second lieutenant, which is the lowest ranking, you have a second lieutenant, and then a first lieutenant, and then a captain. Well, a second lieutenant has a gold bar, and a first lieutenant, which is higher, has a silver bar. Why is that? Gold is worth more than silver. Should the first lieutenant have gold and the other one silver? Well, let's take a look at the Earth here. Let's take a look at the Earth here. Let's draw a picture here. This is the Earth here. There we go. So, and we're looking at down here where they mine for gold and silver. Well, down here is gold. They're very deep mines, generally speaking, where you find gold, very, very deep in the earth. Silver, on the other hand, is found a little bit closer to the surface and maybe, closer there. So silver is actually higher than gold here. Then when you get to captain, you have two silver bars. Now, some people call that the railroad tracks or the tracks. You got two silver bars. Could be because railroad tracks are on the surface of the earth. Could be, that's a possibility, but it's just double two silver bars because that's higher than one silver bar. And if you want to call it the railroad tracks, that's fine. And then when you get to a major, we have a gold oak leaf. And the next higher rank is a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force. I think in the Navy it's a lieutenant commander or something or other. No, I think a major is a lieutenant commander, and a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force is a commander in the Navy. But let's talk about the Air Force here. So we have a major that's above this because we got the captain up here, and major has a gold oak leaf. And why an oak leaf? Well, we have up here on the earth, we got our trees up here, and we got some trees and make some nice trees here. And those oak leaves are, trees, oak trees, and those oak leaves, they're above the gold, they're above the silver, they're above the surface of the earth, so they're higher. Those are higher than that. So a major would have a gold oak leaf, and the next higher rank is a lieutenant colonel, following the same thing. Gold is lower than silver, so a lieutenant colonel would have a silver oak leaf. So yeah, it's all making sense here now. So then you have a full colonel in the Air Force, and a full colonel has an eagle. There's the eagle there. Now, I don't make a very good bird. So the eagle flies above the earth, flies above everything underneath of the earth, flies above all the trees. So an eagle is higher than everything else down here. So that's why you have an eagle for a colonel. And then what do you have when you get to the generals? Well, you got 4 grades of general. You got your brigadier general, your major general, lieutenant general, and a general. And they use stars. And why do they have stars? Because the stars are up in the heavens and they're above everything else on earth. They're above the gold and the silver and the earth. They're above the oak leaves. They're above all the eagles. There's the generals. But as you may have noticed, you have a brigadier general, which is 1 star. Then you have a major general, which is 2 stars. And then you have a lieutenant general, which is 3 stars. Oh, wait a second. I thought you said lieutenants were lower than majors. That doesn't make sense. Well, it does, because you look at the word lieutenant. Lieutenant. Tenant is a tenant, somebody or something that is in place doing something. So a lieutenant, and lieu, like I'm going to have breakfast, but in lieu of having toast, I think I'm going to have pancakes. So it means in place of something else. So a lieutenant would go in place of a captain. A lieutenant colonel would go in place of a full colonel and have generally the same responsibilities. The colonel, of course, the full colonel would be higher, but that person not being around, you would defer to the lieutenant colonel. Same thing to the lieutenants here. Same thing in the generals. You got your brigadier general, your major general, and lieutenant general. And lieutenant general goes in place of the 4-star general. So he or she is second because they go in lieu of the tenant that is the 4-star general. So there you go. Gold is deeper than silver in the earth, so gold is under silver. Captain, you get double silver, or if you want to call it the railroad tracks. You get your major and lieutenant colonel, they're oak leaves because they grow on trees. They're above all that. And the same thing, gold is lower than silver. So major is a gold oak leaf, lieutenant colonel is a silver oak leaf. When you get to generals, well, and then you have the full colonel, which is an eagle insignia that flies above everything else. And then you have the generals, 1-star brigadier general, 2-star major general, and these are all silver, and 3 stars lieutenant general, because that person would be in lieu of the 4-star general, which is the highest ranks. So there you have it. That's explained. I don't know if they explained that to the people. It was never explained to me in officer training. This was explained to me by a World War II veteran many years ago when I was, I think, just a teenager. And I've never seen it written down, never seen it explained. But that's the story. You have any questions, feel free to ask. And look in the other services, the Army, Marines, whatever. It's very, very similar. They use different names, but it's the same thing. So there you go. Don't forget to subscribe to Am One Man Travel. I need a lot of subscribers here. I would really appreciate. So thanks a lot, folks. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.